Tell me, Private, how do you stop a multi-generational clan war?
Ooh, I know. Get a magical third party to explain how the fighting is stupid, and then talk about the suffering of the innocent.
Or you could lie your off to both sides and hope they're dumb enough to buy it.
Ah, the Avatar approach. Nice. In My Little Pony, The Hooffields and the McColts, Twilight and Fluttershy are summoned by the Cutie Map to the backwoods of Equestria, where two clans of ponies, the Hooffields and the McColts, have been fighting for years and destroying the picturesque valley they live in. So it's a good thing Twi's prepared. First, she tries talking to both sides and learning their grievances to try and find a solution. Too bad there are so many grievances, both real and imagined, that Twi and Fluttershy can't really deal with them all. But maybe the girls can get to the historical root of the problem. But then no dice on that one, cause no one really remembers how or why the two clans started fighting in the first place. Okay, maybe the two families have something they could bond over.
Of course they do. They both love killing each other.
That's not really good bonding material. Maybe an apology cake would work.
At this point, please make your own portal. The cake is a lie reference.
And, well, the whole Trojan pony incident kicks the conflict into high gear, and poor Twilight is about out of ideas and hope. But just when things seem to be at their worst, Fluttershy's animal friends tell her about how the whole conflict started in the first place. And together, Twilight and Fluttershy help the Hooffields and the McColts to see all the innocents that they're hurting, and bring an end to their feud. Overall, I liked this episode, but it has a fairly significant and hard to deal with problem. They've basically set up a scenario that Twilight and Fluttershy can't handle without it feeling trite. Long-running conflicts, where both parties have legitimate grievances, are notoriously impossible to give a peaceful resolution that satisfies everyone. Stories like this are basically wish fulfillment. We wish a wise and compassionate third party could intervene in sectarian conflicts and help both sides come to a peaceful resolution. But this almost never actually works. Now, in true MLP fashion, they shriek, "Oh, won't someone please think of the children?"
Animals.
Them too. And that's really the only way I can see that these characters would have solved that problem. And honestly, I'll take MLP's wide-eyed idealism and naivete over Avatar and Watchmen's answers to very similar problems. Okay, now let's look at the characters. Our central players are Twilight and Fluttershy. Both are absolutely on point here. Twi is her adorkable self,
Sorry, I've been a little skiddly-boppy-boo.
with her metric ton of enthusiasm for solving other people's problems, and she's heartbroken when her attempts at being helpful fail. And Fluttershy
Is the living embodiment of a bleeding heart.
well, no. She just cares about everyone and everything and is really emotional.
Private.
Yeah, fine, she is, but that's a good thing. Also, they both really struggle with this problem, and seeing what they go through is important to making sure this episode works as well as it does. Seriously, this could easily have been a complete disaster, and come off like two preachy teenagers just showing up and fixing a decades-long problem, because they're just so much more intelligent and compassionate than the plebeian scum they're trying to help.
Even if that's exactly what this is.
Now on to the comedy. This episode has some great funny moments here and there. Twilight's enthusiasm is funny and endearing. Fluttershy has some comic interactions with the wildlife of Equestria. Her best moment is with a turtle, by the way. Also, I think the fact that she's a Jane Austen fan was perfect. But the best stuff comes from the Pony Hillbillies, especially Big Daddy McColt, who has an awesome monologue about the uses of pumpkins. But it's too bad the Hillbillies aren't as well designed as they are written. Maybe it's because they wanted to differentiate them from each other, but all the McColts are blue, while all the Hooffields are shades of red. Design-wise, they're certainly all unique, with radically different builds and body types. But unlike the base mare design, I think these character models aren't very aesthetically pleasing. Finally, I loved the wacky shenanigans of the action scenes. There were crazy food fights and classic cartoon dust clouds aplenty. Okay, now it's time to break down the good and the bad in My Little Pony, the Hooffields and the McColts. On the good side, Twilight and Fluttershy are a great team. This episode has some good comedy, interesting art, and fun action. On the other hand, there's no way around there not really being a good way to end the episode without it feeling kinda hackneyed and cliche-ridden. And the hillbilly ponies could have used a redesign or two. But if you can get past that, I think you'll enjoy this episode. So I give My Little Pony, The Hooffields and the McColts, a 3.5 out of 5. Now be sure and come back next time for my review of My Little Pony, The Main Attraction. And if you're interested in reviews of anime, movies, TV shows, comic books, or video games, check out my channel on YouTube at StupidPrivate913 and find my Facebook and Deviantart pages for video updates and more. Thank you for watching.
Hey kids, today's show is brought to you by the letter 4 and the number potato! I'm a stupid private.